Hello everyone. Avoid these products like the plague if you plan on longevity. What are these products? Margarine and refined vegetable oils, as they contain excess trans fats and omega-6 fatty acids, which cause inflammation. If we disturb the omega-3 to omega-6 balance, the ratio should be 1 to 3, omega-6 to omega-3. And the Western diet often shows that omega-6 fat, meaning severe inflammation throughout the body, not only in the intestines, but also in the brain. Anxiety and depression are also symptoms of this because constipation or frequent bowel movements 2 or 3 times a day are a problem in the gut. Inflammation, meaning too much omega-6. In short, refined fats and excess omega-6 fatty acids in highly processed foods are not good for us. Avoid these products like the plague. Fast food and deep-fried foods. They contain toxins, oxidized fats, acrylamide, the perfect recipe for heart disease. So if you eat this way, and it happens so often, or it's 80% of what you eat, then unfortunately, you're heading straight for a stroke or heart attack. It's worth thinking about and remembering because we could get tested and have a problem. Of course, there are medications that will alleviate symptoms a bit and help us live a little longer, but overall, we'll live shorter. So avoid these foods like the plague. Fast food, fast food. Sometimes if you eat a little somewhere, nothing will happen because one dose won't kill you. But if you eat this way regularly, it's a slippery slope that will tip over sooner or later, and it will certainly shorten your life if you get sick. White bread and sweet rolls aren't high fructose corn syrup. I know I ate them myself when I was a student. I still washed them down with a sugary drink, but now I'm not so stupid. I'd rather eat a salad or a pepper or a carrot and munch on a whole, unblended one and juice it. And if I do juice, I can throw it away, but eat it, especially from fruit. But eat that fiber. A quick break. This program was created thanks to Expertia Naturals, your brand of tested dietary supplements with clean ingredients. Visit ekpersianaturals.pl and learn about our products. Because above all, I need to nourish my microbiota, protect my liver, and nourish my brain with omega-3s, because the brain is built on them. A brain won't develop without omega-3s. DHA is the most important thing, so white bread, no. Because it's wheat, it raises insulin very strongly. We risk insulin resistance, but there's a lot of gluten in it, which, like modeling clay, we don't need. And that's a large protein that's very allergenic and breaks down the intestinal barrier. Then, when it's broken down, fructose will also contribute, meaning that yeast bun, glucose-fructose syrup sprinkled with that icing, super enjoyable for sure, but unfortunately, all that sugar and fructose kills our microbiota because it can't see it. Our microbiota needs fiber, not sugar. The brain, on the other hand, becomes very addictive. We have many different addictive substances that people have traditionally used for hundreds of thousands of years. Unfortunately, we already know the mechanism. Not only is it addictive, but it doesn't even add to your health. It actually takes it away. Again, one dose won't kill me, but if I do it regularly, 10,000 will shorten my life, and 100,000 will actually kill me, and it's only a matter of time. I'll live shorter. Store-bought cold cuts, meat with preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. Unfortunately, the fact that this ham looks pink is why it sells better, but it's not healthier. My grandmother's ham was gray, but it didn't contain nitrates or nitrites. But nitrates, nitrites, that ham, or any cold cut, if you throw it to a dog, it won't even eat it. They're trying to figure out how to turn 2 kilos of meat into 3 kilos just to make a profit. And then there's the feed the animal ate, which they'll then use. These animals generally have metabolic syndrome because they're raised this way. Fat accumulates even in their muscle tissue. Of course, it's tastier, but the animal was sick, meaning metabolically unhealthy. And if we eat such animals, plus production or technological additives or preservatives, that's all. We end up eating it all. Well, not that. More plant protein. And if we do eat animal protein, then cooked beef, but grass-fed beef or turkey, because you can't stuff it with poisonous substances like that. Definitely not sugary drinks, not healthy drinks, not extra drinks, not 0 calories, and so on. They're twice as toxic as regular drinks. Seriously, there's research that suggests it's better to drink this kind of water than the Fit or Zero variety because they unfortunately have additives to balance it out. And it's actually a hack product because it deceives us into thinking it has 0 calories. After all, we're not calorimeters. You're not a calorimeter. You don't burn that energy, and humans don't function based on the principle of thermodynamics, where whatever you eat and burn will equal 0. Well, that doesn't work that way, because how much you eat depends on whether you ate omega-3 or omega-6, glucose or fructose. Glucose stimulates, mitochondria are created, and fructose blocks them, trans fats, fats, and good quality olive oil. Trans fats are strictly forbidden, but unfortunately, if you're eating high-fat, fried foods, you're getting fat. Now, it's going to kill you while olive oil doesn't. So counting calories is completely pointless. And I'm not a calorimeter, I'm running on ATP. So if I eat carbohydrates or glucose, that's good. The whole world runs on it. ATP is produced in the cell, and I get energy. However, if I eat something that robs me of that energy because the mitochondria will die, because it's enzymatically blocked by, for example, fructose or highly processed foods, then it's not even food anymore, since it's a toxin for my mitochondria. One of the mechanisms responsible for the quality and length of life is the functioning of mitochondria and cell membranes. Of these 8 mechanisms, there's also autophagy, inflammation, immune resistance, and methylation. Okay, there are 8. Of those, 4 are fixed with physical activity, but all 8 are fixed with diet. That's why diet is so important. What you eat in this diet, how long you live, what quality of life you have, and what consciousness you have. So, sweet drinks, cooked meals, and instant soups. You just add a hot drink, hot water, and it's soup. How is that made? There's a lot of fat in there, so you wait 3 minutes to preserve it, and the pasta will swell. I've seen too many problems with that. If a mother gives birth to a child with autism because there were no omega-3s during that pregnancy, and I'm asking, what did you eat, girl? She says she ate instant soups with water throughout her pregnancy because she was studying, working, and didn't have time for normal meals. She ate junk food, and her boyfriend ate junk food too. This leads to uncorrected omega-3 deficiencies. However, if you supplement omega-3 during pregnancy, it develops the brain, vision, and immunity of the child, the fetus, and then the newborn and infant. This then shapes the child's entire life during the first 2 years. So, you have a chance for your child to be intelligent, tall, and so on, and not on the autism spectrum. Because of the high inflammation, unfortunately, omega-3 deficiency, mainly DHA. This means if it's already ready, it needs to be transported, of course, and to withstand the transport, but also preservatives, so it has some nutritional value. So, what are you finally going to eat? A quick break in the episode because I wanted to let you know that under this episode, you have a link to download a summary of everything happening here today. So if you want to recap the most important points from today's episode, click the link under this recording and simply download it. What will it be worth? So it's better to eat fresh beetroot, Seller's carrots, and so on. Freshly in season, the ones that are currently growing because they're fresh, than ones that came from another continent. They were coated, sprinkled with various waxes, and then you'll eat all of that anyway. Even when you peel that orange or pineapple, you feel it stinging your tongue. For some reason, you're still eating those chemicals. I'm not talking about chemicals applied to the skin, which are absorbed anyway, because we have medications that are absorbed. And the last point is sweets with palm oil and fructose syrup. Unfortunately, not. Because fructose dissolves our intestinal barrier. They become leaky, and then if there's casein or gluten, then raffia, bacteria, or pathogens immediately fly into the bloodstream and you have a problem, because then proteins from these bacteria are found in cancerous tumors. In the absence of a thick rect prostate, particles of these bacteria are found in brain cancer and breast cancer. These are the latest studies from last year. So if you have leaky gut, you have some work to do. And how can you seal it? Plant fiber with probiotics, soluble and insoluble fiber. You can support yourself with pickles, you can take probiotics, and take omega-3s, because that's the firefighter who puts out forest fires. If you have inflammation in your gut, you're not getting omega-3s, and in those foods you eat instant soups and fried fast food, which are high in pro-inflammatory omega-6s, then inflammation is happening in your gut. The gateway to the development of inflammatory diseases is open for the whole person: leaky gut. In a moment, this inflammation affects the leaky blood-brain barrier. So, the toxins produced here circulate in the blood, reach the body, and how will I feel? If I eat garbage, I'll feel like garbage. No wonder. The rule is, if something has more than 5 ingredients, food additives, it's not for you. If you want to live a long and healthy life, choose foods that look like food and are food. Well, the definition of food is that what I eat, these substances, will give me ATP energy. I will be able to function, have a metabolism, and they build my tissues, body, fats, and protein, because our body is made of protein and fats. Protein lapidated membranes. This is the definition of food. So if I eat something that blocks energy production, blocks ATP, and doesn't build my body because I eat junk food like gels or chips, is that food? This is the definition of food. So it's better to eat food, most often organic vegetables or organic fruits for dessert, mainly based on grains like emmer, einkorn, spelt, or oatmeal. Such things as plant protein, please. Fish, followed sardines, such nutritious food. What is food? Because I will build my body and tissues from it rather than fast food, i.e. my highly processed foods. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you don't miss new videos. Also, sign up for our free health newsletter. You'll find the link in the description of this video.